Coming up on PAC News, a tentative deal is made in D.C. We'll have the latest on negotiations to keep the government open.
Construction in Covington is causing frustration. Will we see Anthony Davis on the court tonight against the Magic? We'll have these stories and more coming up on PAC News.
Good afternoon, and welcome to PAC News. I'm Claire Mouton.
And I'm Andrew Callaghan. Congress is a step closer to reaching a compromise on the border. Lawmakers say they've come to an agreement that could avoid another government shutdown. John LaRink reports.
Days before the deadline for another partial government shutdown, a tentative deal.
We reached an agreement in principle between us on the Homeland Security and the other 6 bills.
The 4 lead lawmakers didn't give specifics on the settlement, but did admit some flexibility was needed from both parties.
There's not a single one of us is going to get every single thing we want, but nobody does. But we're going to get what is best for the United States.
President Trump was given the update shortly before taking the stage at a rally Monday night in Texas.
They said that progress is being made. Just so you know, we're building the wall anyway. They say that progress...
A source says the deal includes nearly $1.4 billion for physical barriers covering about 55 miles. A White House official says aides are digesting the details with nothing set in stone. But some people see this as a step in the right direction.
It is very encouraging news for the country that they appear to be in agreement in principle.
Others don't.
His call for a concrete wall or anything that resembles that should never happen, both because it's a waste of money, it'll be ineffective, and because the minute we do that, we're going to fundamentally change the notion of what America is.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Some of President Trump's allies are already showing skepticism toward the deal. On his show Monday night, Fox News host Sean Hannity called it a garbage compromise. Top officials at the White House say they are already still going through the details.
We're not going to get into a conversation of what could be in this document. We want to focus on what's actually in the document. Until we see that, it's going to be very difficult to have a conversation about what we will and won't accept. I'm about to walk into the Chief of Staff's office right now and go over kind of some of the pieces that have come through already. And once we have more, we'll let you know. But until then, I've got nothing else.
When do you expect to have an answer?
Meanwhile, as the Senate Intelligence Committee approaches the end of its investigation into the 2016 election, they say they have uncovered no direct evidence of conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. Although both Democrats and Republicans on the committee agree, investigators disagree along party lines when it comes to the implications of a pattern of contacts they have documented between Trump associates and Russians, contacts that occurred before, during, and after Russian intelligence operatives were seeking to help Donald Trump leaking hacked Democratic emails and attacking his opponent, Hillary Clinton, on social media. President Trump, at his rally in Texas last night,
They've interviewed over 200 people. They've studied hundreds of thousands of documents and pages. And Richard just announced that they found no collusion between Donald Trump and Russia. Collusion.
In Virginia, impeachment is on hold against the lieutenant governor for alleged rape and sexual misconduct. While the governor says he is going nowhere, Governor Ralph Northam says he is not stepping down and plans to work towards racial reconciliation in the state. In an interview with CBS, Gayle King, the governor, said he didn't realize how being white affects his actions.
I was born in white privilege, and that has implications to it, and it is much different the way a white person such as myself is treated in this country.
Did you not know that you were born into white privilege?
I knew I was, Ms. King, but I didn't realize really the powerful implications of that.
Being one of the men in his 1984 medical school yearbook, wearing blackface or KKK robe.
Highway experts say right turns are safer to make than left, and according to reporter Caitlin Cleveland, that is one of the reasons for why Highway 190 in Covington is getting an upgrade.
The construction started late 2017 from I-12 to the Bougainvillea Bridge. The communications director at the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Rodney Mallett, says 11 intersections will be upgraded, and left turns will be a thing of the past.
Well, now, instead of making that left, you're going to turn right, go down to the designated U-turn area, and then come back and go the direction you want to go. So it's a lot safer maneuver. It will help traffic flow, and the main thing is this is a safety project.
The construction on Highway 190 in Covington is a $9.1 million project. Garcia's famous Mexican food is a turn off the highway, and Connie Garcia hopes for business to keep growing with these changes.
Maintaining access for people, because a lot of the success of a business is location, 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 which we do have, but if access is limited, then it can impact us in the long run.
The project aims to keep traffic flowing and commuters like Robert Ramirez safe. He wants a faster commute.
I'm not convinced that it will happen, but I guess it's going to happen, so I'll just have to live with whatever the result is.
The construction should be complete by this summer. Caitlin Cleveland, PAC News.
For travel information and traffic routes, visit 511la.org. Here at Loyola, homecoming is happening for the first time in decades. Leah Banks is live in St. Charles Room with coverage. Leah, tell us what's going on out there.
All right. Hi, Andrew. So in St. Charles Room, it was a perfect day to get out of the rain and be partying with the pack in the St. Charles Room today. If you can look behind me, we have a series of games like cornhole, ultimate frisbee, Connect Four, and even life-size Jenga, where students could merge with student athletes and mix and mingle and just enjoy homecoming week. Although the event has ended, don't be sad. This week we have Valentine's Day, which is an ice cream sundae bar, Bears with Bay, which is actually a Build-A-Bear workshop on campus. Also, be prepared for our homecoming game, which is also on Valentine's Day from 5 to 7. So, back to you, Andrew.
Up next, a troublesome plant is threatening wildlife at Bayou St. John. What people are doing to help.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
A small plant is causing some big trouble along Bayou St. John. Yuri Oguma shows us what people are doing to protect the water.
People at St. John Bayou are using kayaks to help with an unexpected problem. It's called giant salvinia, an invasive plant that is quickly piling up.
This small plant just showed up on the bayou a few days ago. Even though if it's just a small plant, it can cause a big trouble.
Donald, however, is a biology professor at Loyola University. He says it can cover the entire river quickly, completely blocking the sunlight for lives beneath the water.
That causes a huge disruption in the ecosystem.
People in the neighborhood are trying to take out the invasive plant.
It was kind of sad to see it overrun by this plant and everything.
However, says pulling out the plant is one of the best ways to fight the invasion.
I'm just really happy to see, the folks out here.
The event organizer, Clark Thompson, says they need continuous support.
We're not going to be done today. We're not going to be done this month. This is going to be an ongoing fight. This might go on for years.
However, say the expansion is slower due to cold weather, but it will grow extremely quick in the summer if it's not taken out. Yuri Oguma, PAC News.
The NOLA Tree Project has reached a major milestone. The group has planted 50,000 trees since Katrina. Marjanique Lewis shows us how much the project has grown.
The NOLA Tree Project gives away over 3,000 trees every planting season. They do the giveaway at 5 different locations. 2019 is the 5th year of their free tree giveaway. Connie Udo, director of the NOLA Tree Project, says since 2007, it's helped replace trees lost after Katrina.
Since the project started, they've planted 50,000 trees.
It's been embraced by the community. Take, for instance, Randy Nelson.
I'm a single parent and I was thinking about something I could do with my little girl.
Oh.
She likes stuff like this, so we're going to try this out.
Dimitri Mercadal, public affairs specialist at Entergy, says its involvement with the event is important.
What better way to serve our customers than to provide these wonderful trees as an opportunity for them to, one, beautify their homes on the outside, as well as take advantage of these fruit trees and, also help in building our environment.
And Dana Leon says it's a great way to bring the community together. Marjanique Lewis, PAC News.
If you missed this tree giveaway, don't worry, there are more to come. Visit theNOLATreeProject.org for updates. Another soggy day across the metro area. India Yarborough has details on how far the temperatures will drop tonight after the break.
Action.
It's been a gloomy afternoon in the metro area. India, we even saw some flooding overnight.
That's right, Andrew. We had some pretty heavy rain this morning. Let's take a look at our maps to see what else the week has in store. After a couple of warm days in the Crescent City, this morning's rain is already cooling things down. New Orleans is experiencing temperatures in the low 60s today, and the rest of New Orleans is seeing similar temps with Slidell at 64. Along the Gulf Coast, we also have highs in the low 60s. Now that temperature decrease is the result of the area's rainfall. New Orleans has already seen rain today over an inch. Slidell is at 0.95 inches. And we should continue to see midday showers today with winds between 15 and 20 miles per hour. After the rain stops this afternoon, the National Weather Service predicts temps in the area will fall into the upper 50s in the evening by 5 p.m. and dropping to 57 by 8 p.m. So you're going to want to grab a coat if you're venturing outside later today because it's going to be a cool night with clear skies. The North Shore is expected to see a low of 38 degrees this evening, and overnight we should see a low of 46 here in New Orleans. We may experience scattered showers tomorrow morning, but that rain should clear up by 2 p.m. Later in the day, we'll see sunny skies, and tomorrow's high is expected to be around 65 degrees. And looking ahead to the rest of the week, we should see mostly sunny skies. We have a high of 72 on Thursday, a little bit more clouds on Friday with a high of 76. And New Orleans may experience rain early Saturday, but those showers should clear up in time for Saturday night's Mardi Gras parades.
I think we're all looking forward to those parades very much this weekend.
Yeah, and hopefully the rain holds off and hopefully no raincoat required.
Absolutely. And after this break, we're going to head over with Ryan Micklin to sports.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25,
Good job!
or C, Find a loophole. When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It's a busy day on the hardwood. Ryan Micklin has the highlights from the big games.
It's been an up and down season for the Pelicans in more ways than one. Anthony Davis is expected to play the rest of the season in New Orleans before likely being traded away over the summer. The NBA has threatened the Pelicans $100,000 fine for every game that Anthony Davis does not play. Well, the Pelicans hosted the Timberwolves on Friday night, and Anthony Davis logged some playing time for the first time since January 18th, and the five-time All-Star did not disappoint. Davis started the game red hot and finished with 32 points and 9 rebounds while only playing 25 minutes. Davis did not play the entire fourth quarter in a tight game, but it didn't matter. Drew Holiday's 27 points and 9 assists fueled the Pels to a 122-117 victory on Friday night. And 24 hours later, the Pels took to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Davis played 34 minutes but only attempted 8 shots and finished with 14 points and 14 rebounds. Julius Randle came off the bench and poured in a game-high 21 points for the Pelicans. However, the Pels came up short in Memphis, losing 99-90. The Pelicans now sit at just 25-32 on the season and are currently the 13th seed in the Western Conference. That's 5 spots out of the playoff hunt. The Pels will play host to an Orlando Magic team that's won 3 straight tonight. Tip is set for 7 p.m. in the Smoothie King Center. And moving on to college sports, the LSU men's basketball team is red hot. The Tigers have now won 12 out of their last 13 games. The team's latest win came Saturday afternoon when LSU captured its 9th conference victory of the season, rallying from a 16-point deficit to take down the previously ranked Auburn Tigers 83-73. Skylar Mays led the team in scoring as he poured in 20 points in 36 minutes of action. Sophomore Tremont Waters contributed 19 points and 10 assists, and former 5-star recruit Naz Reid finished with 13 points and 10 rebounds in the win. The number 19 ranked LSU Tigers are booming in year 2 of the Will Wade era. They currently rank 3rd in the SEC standings with a 9-1 record in conference play and an overall record of 19-4 on the season. The Tigers will have a chance to make a statement on national TV as they look to upset the number 5 ranked Kentucky Wildcats in the most anticipated game of the season for the Tigers. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. tonight in Lexington, Kentucky, and you can catch it on ESPN. And here at home, Loyola's basketball teams took on the William Carey Crusaders in Mississippi last night. The men fell short and the women came up with the W. The women's team increased their winning streak to 10 with a 72-69 victory over the Crusaders. They are now ranked 2nd in the SEC conference standings with a record of 21-5 on the season. The men's team continues to struggle away from the Den as their road record dropped to 5-7 after they came up short in an 86-93 loss in Mississippi. They are now 10-3 at home with a record of 15-10 on the season. The Wolfpack's basketball teams are still in the spotlight, gearing up for their homecoming week, where the school's king and queen will be announced on Thursday night when both teams host Bethel University in the Den. Tip-off for the women's game on Thursday is set for 5:30, and the men's team will be ready to go for 7:30. That's your look at sports. We'll be right back.
Back to you, Lester.
Thanks, Taylor. And in our final story of the night, Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
As the winter weather continues, New Orleans residents are on a mission to help the homeless, and it is sure to warm your hearts.
A simple idea that has had an extraordinary impact. Loyola Knitters began as a startup bringing people together to knit and gather outerwear for the homeless.
Like 350 like hats and scarves and socks. And then we had other donations, like people gave us sweatshirts to pass out and blankets and stuff.
Like the first time we did it, we some people packaged up some soup and we got some donations of socks and things like that.
We'll leave them around tied to the fence posts and Jackson Square with little notes or around the French Quarter being this isn't lost, if you need this, take it.
And they make it fun, picking a unique NOLA establishment each week. This session at Bacchanal. Here in the city, there's an estimated 1,200 homeless people. That's 4% of the population. NOLA Knitters is on a mission to make sure all of their hands stay warm. The group says that although they make cold weather wear right now, they'd like to expand year-round.
We were trying to think of ways we could incorporate helping year-round and not just when it's cold.
Wanting to actually start a nonprofit.
The Knitters encourage others to come have fun and learn a craft, all while giving back.
People get to step out of their element and do something fun, learn a new skill. Also, we get to help people.
The Knitters ask anyone interested to join them on their quest to keep New Orleanians warm.
To learn more information about their weekly sessions, go to www.facebook.com/NOLA Knitters. And this is Claire Mouton with PAC News.